My job was really to use my staff and to identify countries with resources our corporations want, like oil, minerals, and such things, and then arrange a huge loan to that country from the World Bank or one of its sister organizations. But the money didn't go to the country. Instead, it went directly to our own corporations, U.S. corporations, to build big infrastructure projects in those countries, things like power plants and industrial parks and highways and ports that benefited, first of all, our companies that made huge profits off these things. And second of all, a few wealthy families in these countries. But the problem was that the loans also the collateral for the loan was the resources that were still under the ground, usually, like oil, that had been exploited. And so the idea was that they would take on these loans, and over time, they would allow our corporations to come in and take their resources. In the meantime, they had to pay off interest on the loans. And so most of the people in the country suffered terribly. Money was diverted from education, healthcare, and other social services to pay off the interest. So we'd go back in, usually under the guise of the International Monetary Fund policing organization, and say, okay, so you're not paying off your loan, so you sell your oil real cheap to our corporations without environmental or social regulations. Let the United States build a military base on your soil. Privatize your businesses, your public sector businesses, your education system, your water and sewage systems, et cetera, and sell them to our investors cheap. Vote with us on the next United Nations vote against Cuba or whatever. So it was really, it truly is a form, it still goes on, of colonialism, but as you pointed out, typically without the military. Although the threat of military intervening is always sort of lurking in the background.
So what happens when a country you're going after can't pay its debts? You elaborated on it a little bit, but can you go into a little bit more detail?
We're so happy. We're just so happy because the IMF goes in and restructures the loan.